Hi, this is Mitch King with Trade Stocks America with the Wednesday morning, March 3rd, 2010 daily stock report. We're looking at the Dow 30, hit a new high today, the last indices to make a higher high from that February's high. You've heard me talk about this right in here, and it just went above that line here and retreated with basically no change for the day. Here's the Nasdaq Composite up 0.3% today, climbing higher, looking healthy, and the S&P 500 up 0.25%. So these last two indices are looking good, looking for a general trend up. And again, the big question is whether we're going to reach that movement above that January 19th high and bust through that. I must sound like a broken record to you guys, but that's really the next thing to look for. Let's cover a handful of stocks. Here's DTSI, the stock we were long and got lucky on a few days ago. We're watching this to consider going short at some point. No hurry to do that. This is going to take a while to peak out, and you really want these things to turn over to start heading down before you start shorting. Hopefully to look like something like in this area after it turns over. And that's the safest place to short, is after something is turning over to before opening a short position. Here's that National Bank of Greece starting to move up another 5% today. We've had 3 up days in a row, and this is the one we got stopped out on here from the stock table right there. And we just kept saying anything goes below that point and triggers off that stop loss. And you guys really should learn how to set those and be comfortable with those. But this has a substantial profit potential. Clearly, Greece is talking with the European community for a bailout. The European community is holding them to higher standards, making them cry uncle first, and then before they start handing over some money. But I still think there's going to be other problems with other countries, so that's going to be the next fear. Nothing to worry about yet because the market is usually a short-term type of thinker, like I talk about the 12-year-old emotional girl. Here's NUVA, N-U-V-A, Nuvasive. We've had 2 excellent scalps on this the last 2 days. We had that gap up this morning early in that first 20 minutes, looking for that high to short on an intraday chart, which we'll show you in just a moment. But what we're looking for is to see if this breaks down here. If you guys ever held any of this over, I think this is probably going to head down for maybe a couple more points. If it's a real shallow, gradual down, you don't want to be short that for very long because they usually just turn into something like that. There's a term for it. I forgot what it's called on the technical term. A bull flag or something like that. You technical analysis students would know what that term means, but we call it consolidation if it's going gradually down, and we'd call it more of a correction if it's doing what these bull shorts typically. It's hard to tell which way it's going to go. It's not breaking down as much as I thought, so that tells me to be a little cautious for holding that short over a period of days. So pay attention to this one closely if you have a position. Here's that AEA that was stopped out yesterday because they exceeded that higher high. Pretty nice drop today of 4.27% right there. And if we see this a little more drop tomorrow, getting down to that low around $6, that could be a trigger point to start putting in a short position. It's still not the best short idea, but there is a little money, there is a little potential in this one. Here's Monsanto, the intermediate trade idea, starting to move up today, 3/4 point. We saw a lot of the ag chemicals starting to move today, so it's a good sign. And usually this carries through for a few days, so you just play it as you see it on the chart. Here's TEF, Telefonica, looking for a longer term hold on that. I joked around last night as how long I can keep it is the real question, but the stock usually continues to run a lot further than I tend to hold them, but you guys know that by now. This rebounded a little bit today, still on a corrective mode. No reason to panic yet unless it exceeds that high up here. You can, if you don't even like that, you can take a trend line and say, well, if it goes above that, then I'll get out. So far so good, looking for a little more selling on this. Here's DISCA, Discovery Communications, that's the Discovery Channel on television. Still on a downtrend here, and this is kind of the idea of selling short after a stock starting to turn over, and I think that's somewhere in the area where we saw that and started shorting. So just probably a couple days left on this short before you start considering the cover. Maybe $30 would be a little optimistic to get that. So it could be another 50, 80 cents to get out of this short. And we're just trying to go for singles, nothing, no home runs, don't try to be a hero here in this market. Just wait for some really good ones. Put a very small positions in most of your stocks. Here's RBA, Ritchie Brothers, still on a nice uptrend, up 2.5% today. Nice trend. Sorry the report's out so late tonight. You guys take care. You know what to do. Keep the odds in your favor. Wait for the good ones. And really looking forward to teaching you guys at the seminar. It's going to be really fabulous. As you guys know me by now, that ain't no bull. It's going to be really good. You take care. Talk to you tomorrow night.